How have you and your teammates been preparing for this season coming off the Super Bowl win?
It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of assessment, refinement, and just this pursuit of growth. You know, every year is different, every team is different. Every year you have to embrace that as if it's new, and it is new.
We're here to stamp our names in history!
Just trying to continue to strive forward and try and pursue something great. My biggest motivation, to win. As far as my goals and the goals for our team, it's just really taking it a day at a time, just trying to continue to improve, learn, and build, not staying in the same place. You put a lot of work in the off seasons to kind of breeds this fear of stagnance, and it's a healthy fear, I'd say, something that's healthy, so we use it.
Winning.
Keep preaching, Jalen Hurts. That's the kind of attitude all players should be displaying for themselves and their teammates. Definitely a way to stay hungry for success, that's for sure. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about how Jalen Hurts haters will be getting a reality check against the Cowboys. Remember, Jalen Hurts has a 4-0 record in season openers in his NFL career. More importantly, the Eagles are projected to have a better roster than the Cowboys on paper. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So, here it is. Will Jalen Hurts lead the Eagles to a win against the Cowboys? I believe so. I believe the Philadelphia Eagles will not only beat the Dallas Cowboys, they are going to blow out the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday Night Football in their season opener, mainly because the Eagles roster compared to the Cowboys roster is night and day. The Eagles roster is significantly better than the Cowboys roster. Everything about the Philadelphia Eagles is better than the Dallas Cowboys from top to bottom. At quarterback, you got Jalen Hurts, who is a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. The man is a Super Bowl champion. He does nothing but show up in big games. Yeah, I know Jalen Hurts doesn't put up the best stats in the world, but the man is a winner and he understands how to be a clutch quarterback in the National Football League. He plays his role for the Philadelphia Eagles really well, and I understand that he has a loaded team on paper, but it's not like Jalen Hurts inherited a stacked roster. Jalen Hurts has proven that he can carry bad rosters to the NFL playoffs. Jalen Hurts has proven that he can indeed carry the load if necessary, but why carry the load when you got one of the best rosters in the National Football League? Less is more, and Jalen Hurts understands that concept to a T. Jalen Hurts understands that he doesn't need to throw the ball 35 to 40 times a game in order to be successful. In fact, you can go to games and only throw the ball 20 times and still be effective, which is exactly what Jalen Hurts is doing. He's a two-way threat with the football in his hands. He's a pretty underrated passer. He's an excellent runner, and of course, he can execute the tush push better than any quarterback in the National Football League. Even if you're not a believer in Jalen Hurts, you also got to look at the rest of the Eagles roster. They have a championship caliber defense. They proved that in the Super Bowl. They didn't lose a lot of pieces on defense, so I expect Dak Prescott to be suffocating all night long. He's going to get pressured into making mistakes. You got to remember that the Dallas Cowboys don't really have a running game whatsoever. Their starting running back is Javonte Williams. He's not good whatsoever. I expect the running game for the Cowboys to be a non-factor. I also expect Dak Prescott to make some mistakes with the football in his hands. I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to win rather comfortably. I know that the Eagles are favored by more than a touchdown to win tonight's ball game, but I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win by a lot more points than that. I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to win by 3 scores. That's right, I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to completely blow out the Dallas Cowboys. You also can't forget about Saquon Barkley, who is coming off of a historic season. He's going to have a great game against the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles also have the best offensive line in the NFL, and the Cowboys just traded away Micah Parsons, their best defensive player. Now their best defensive player is Kenny Clark, and although Kenny Clark is a pretty good player, he's no Micah Parsons. I don't expect the Cowboys to really stand much of a fighting chance against the Philadelphia Eagles. I expect Jalen Hurts to put up an efficient stat line. I'm not saying he's going to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he doesn't need to do that. If Jalen Hurts can put something along the lines of 200 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a tush push touchdown, I say that's a pretty efficient day at the office. Saquon Barkley can definitely get his rushing yards. A.J. Brown is going to be a playmaker when he has opportunities to shine in the passing game. Same thing for Javonte Smith. Same thing for Dallas Cowboys. The Philadelphia Eagles offensive line is going to give Jalen Hurts plenty of time to throw the football, so I expect this Eagles offense to be clicking on all cylinders. I also want to show you guys this clip of Cam Newton hating on Jalen Hurts. He is saying that Jalen Hurts is not an elite quarterback in the National Football League and that he still has a lot to prove. I don't necessarily agree with Cam Newton's comments, although I am a Cam Newton fan. That doesn't mean I necessarily have to agree with every take he has. This is one of those takes. Roll the film.
What does Hurts have left to prove? Understand this, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Eagles fans that's tuning in right now. That's cool. Respectfully, I have to remind you that Nick Foles also won a Super Bowl.
Agree.
So if you're asking me, with everybody paying attention, Jalen Hurts has so much to prove on this metrics because now I go from good to great to elite.
Hater alert.
Can Cam Newton stop this hate on Jalen Hurts? Look, I get it. Jalen Hurts doesn't put up elite stats, but just because you don't put up elite stats, that doesn't mean you're not an elite quarterback. And look, I don't believe Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback, but have you seen the rest of the quarterbacks in the National Football League? Right now, I truly believe there's only 4 elite quarterbacks in the National Football League right now. Everybody else is not an elite quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback, though, so I'm not going to necessarily call Jalen Hurts a trash quarterback or a mid quarterback. There's a lot of teams who would love to have a Jalen Hurts play quarterback for their squad. I know Jalen Hurts doesn't put up the best stats out there, but he has elite intangibles. He has elite rushing ability, and Jalen Hurts understands how to manage a game really well, and less is more when it comes to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts can make his passes count, and whenever Jalen Hurts throws the deep bomb, you know it's almost always going to be complete because he's almost always going to find A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith open downfield, and I love the fact how Jalen Hurts plays his role really well. A lot of people are saying that Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League, but that is completely wrong. In fact, I would even go as far as to say Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. A lot of people are going to get a reality check tonight when Jalen Hurts has an efficient game against the Dallas Cowboys. I expect Nick Sirianni to put Jalen Hurts in positions to succeed. As for Brian Schottenheimer, I don't expect him to put his Cowboys defense in position for success, nor do I expect him to put Dak Prescott in position to succeed. I think this game is going to get ugly for the Cowboys fast. I think the Eagles are going to front run from start to finish. I got Saquon Barkley rushing for over 100 yards. Jalen Hurts is going to throw for 200 yards and have 3 total touchdowns. I think the final score of this game is going to be something along the lines of 31-13 Eagles. I think this is going to be a blowout from start to finish. I think the Cowboys are going to get embarrassed, and Jerry Jones is going to stand there looking like an absolute clown because the Dallas Cowboys are not going to be a good football team this year. As for the Philadelphia Eagles, I expect them to be a playoff team once again. I expect their roster to be pretty good. As for the Dallas Cowboys, I expect that roster to be nothing more than mediocre at best. I don't really expect much of anything in tonight's game in terms of competitiveness. This is going to look like a blowout game, which is exactly what will happen. Again, Jalen Hurts has got to do his thing and show everybody why he is indeed one of the top quarterbacks in the National Football League, and he's going to do that. Even if he doesn't, well, the rest of the Eagles squad is going to show up, so it's not going to really matter. I don't believe the Dallas Cowboys really have much of a chance to win tonight's ball game. If they do, then I'll be absolutely shocked, but I just don't see that happening. So that is why Jalen Hurts will lead the Eagles to a win against the Cowboys, as the Eagles will beat the Cowboys by the score of 31-13. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I'm going to shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DustinNashTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinNashTran, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinNashTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.